So I guess I'll start off with like a story. Um, so this is the story of how a squirrel, you know, got into my toilet. Uh, yeah, if you're like, hey, that's not where squirrels go, you'd be right. Why was it in there? Still don't know. Um, yeah. So I remember I was about I don't know like 11, and I remember I came home. My dad was gonna take my little sister to her friend's house, and I was like, sweet. So my dad, my little sister, my big sister all get into the car, and I'm like, prime time to take a shit, because there's no one home, whatever. And so I had guitar dude would like this guy. He would like come and like teach me how to play guitar, and he was never really good at it because I still don't know how to play guitar. Um, So, oh man, he's getting wrecked. Stab him in the wiener. I stabbed him in the wiener. So, this guy, he would like come and teach me how to play guitar, and I was never really good at it. I didn't really care. Um, and so he was on his way over, and I had like I don't know, like 15 minutes to like drop the mother load of ass blasting goodness. And so I go upstairs. I grab my like Calvin and Hobbes cartoon book because my little dumbass was like, reading's fun. Let's do it on the toilet. And so I go and I'm walking to my parents' bathroom because it's prime freaking time. Like, why not use theirs instead of mine? Mine's garbage. The master bathroom, like master swag, 420 blaze it. And so I'm walking in, and I set my little Calvin and Hobbes book down on the fucking like the little like sink area, and I pull my pants down, and I open the toilet, and fucking dead ass squirrel. Like, I wish there was a joke. Like, it was actually like mortifying and terrifying. Like, imagine you're 12 and you see a dead squirrel, and because the first thought is, oh, somebody didn't flush, and then your second thought is, oh my god, someone ate a squirrel and digested it and it just came out whole, and then your third thought is, oh fuck, that's a squirrel in the toilet. Like, it's a squirrel in the toilet. Like, what do you do? Like, what do you do? Like, who expects that? Who's like, this is, oh, maybe there'll be a squirrel today, maybe not. So I remember I'm like my pants are down. I start screaming because obviously squirrel in the toilet. Can't get over that every time. So the squirrel is like chilling in the toilet, and I pull my pants up and I start sprinting out the bathroom and just screaming, and I remember that I was screaming and yelling and like freaked out because it's a fucking squirrel in the toilet, and so I run downstairs and I'm like just screaming because I don't know what to do. I'm just terrified, and so I go back up. I don't go upstairs. I stay in the downstairs, and I hear like a ring at the door, and I'm like, oh my god, please be my dad. I don't know why I thought it'd be my dad. It's his house. Why would he ring the doorbell? But so I'm sitting there, and I go and I'm screaming, and I open the door, and it's my like 13-year-old guitar instructor, and I'm just screaming. So he's just like, oh hey Lou, ah! I'm just like screaming fucking at him. I don't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do. He's 13. I'm like 11. So I just you imagine I'm gonna put you in his situation, okay? You're 13. Your dad is making you give this snotty ass bitch kid guitar lessons. You're like reluctant and you don't want to do it. You open the door and he's just screaming at you with his pants unbuttoned, and he's just yelling, like just looking you in your eyes like a little demon child, just screaming at you, right? Like, that definitely not good. And so I'm just screaming. He's like just calling. He's like calling my dad. I think. Like, I'm assuming that would be the proper course of action is to call the parent of the screaming squirrel child. And so my dad like rushes home, and he's like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, there's a squirrel in the toilet. He's like, bullshit, there's no squirrel in that toilet. And I'm like, you fucking, you don't believe me? Go check. And so he goes upstairs, and he's like, he comes out like kind of scared a little bit, like not like, oh, like screaming, but just, you know, there's a squirrel in the toilet. Nobody really expects it, even when you know it's, told it's there. So I'm like, he's like, okay, we need to get this out of the toilet because icky, gross squirrels, right? And so he gets like he goes in the kitchen and he grabs like a shopping bag, like one of those plastic ones, and he like goes upstairs and he like fishes the squirrel out of the toilet, and like so he walks out of the bathroom with this brown plastic bag full of more brown and less plastic, more meat and fur, I'd say, and he's like, okay, cool, let's like take this outside. So I'm following him, still really scared because I don't think I have to say it anymore. There was a squirrel in the toilet. I don't know what to do. And so he walks outside, and in the tree there's like the little baby squirrels. Like, you know, I'm assuming like its parent was, you know, what terrified me. And so my dad goes to the tree, shakes the bag, and goes, "This is your parents." And I'm just like, "Oh, Dad, that's low key like really fucking